And thank you so much for joining us. So Naspers share price today, Rhynhardt, up 4.8%, leading the top 40, just over 511 Rand. Any news flow that you know of that's driving the rally in the stock?
No, Sam, I don't think there's any major news flow out today. I think it must probably seen in context with the move yesterday. I think it was one of the worst performing shares on the top 40 yesterday, down I think about 4%. So it's probably just having a bit of a rebound. It is, though, a fact that 10 broke to a new high in like Asian trade this morning, and 10 share price is pretty much the major driver behind Naspers share price. So that is probably the major reason, but it kind of did have I think a fairly weak day yesterday, so it's no real surprise to actually see it among the major rebounders today.
So let's talk about some of the company news out today. Earnings, Altec reporting revenue up slightly, 5.2 billion Rand. You've got that operating margin sitting at 5%. In 2011, it was 7.3%. The company has been battling these, losses from West Africa. They're now disposing of that. They've still got problems in East Africa, and you're seeing somewhat muted growth in South Africa, but the CEO is seeming a lot more confident. What are your thoughts on those numbers?
Look, if you look at the last set of numbers, it certainly wasn't a very good set of numbers. I think it did manage to undershoot most analyst expectations. If you look at the East African business, which seems to be the major area where they're kind of struggling in, they managed to write down about 420 million Rand of that business in East Africa. Now, I do seem to recall, I think they bought East Africa for about 1 billion Rand. So the cumulative write-downs is now just over 1 billion. So they've already written down more than what they bought it for. They've also recently lost the biggest client, which I think is Safaricom. So at the moment, they're losing about 50 million Rand every kind of half year or every 6 months. So that's about 100 million Rand per annum. And we didn't really see that trend stopping unless they can find some kind of a joint venture partner to kind of help them out in that business, which does seem to be the intention of the company. So if you look at the other divisions, they've done slightly better, but there's certainly signs that growth trends are definitely slowing. If you look at Netstar, that is a fairly mature business now, and it kind of used to grow revenues by about 6 to 7%, and now it's only growing by about 4%, so definitely maturing. And then on AutoPage, that has kind of been a business that has seen some pressure, like on the pricing front for a while now. But they've managed to offset some of the pricing pressure via growing subscribers, and it seems to be that they're finding it more difficult to do that. So margins are coming under a bit of pressure there. So I don't personally think that they're going to have a very good next 12 months looking at the current trends.
And then of course we had Pan African coming out with fantastic results, largely on the basis of a stronger gold price. Full year HEPS up 69%. They got this Evander acquisition on the line that's going to double production. Would you like Pan African at all, given the fact of all the uncertainty in the gold mining sector and the mining sector at this point?
Look, I think within the gold mining space, I think that Pan Africa definitely stands out for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I think it's a relatively small gold mining company that's now transforming into a mid-tier company. This like Evander acquisition will add about 100,000 ounces in the next 12 months to their output. So their production will basically double over the next year or so. And they bought the asset for about 1.5 billion Rand. And at current Rand gold prices, we think that the payback period is kind of less than 4 years. So it is certainly a very attractive purchase. They've got very high grades, and like in gold mining, grade is everything. So despite the share being up, including dividends, about 70% the last 12 months, the historic PE multiple is still only about 8.5 times, and I think they will continue to actually show very strong growth in the year ahead. So I certainly think it does look very interesting.
Rhynhardt, thank you so much for joining us. Rhynhardt Roodt, equity analyst at Investec Asset Management.